love is real, and silence is never neutral. He found out she died the same day he read the words she never meant for him to see. 10 letters, all unsent, all for him. She loved him in silence. He moved on, never knowing. And by the time the truth arrived, she was already gone. This isn't just a story about love. It's a story about silence, about timing, and about the words we never say until it's too late. So sit back, listen closely, because this story might just stay with you forever. This is the story of Nora Bennett and Daniel Hart. And the quietest kind of love, the kind that never gets its moment, but never truly dies. Nora Bennett wasn't the kind of person you'd notice in a crowded room. And honestly, she preferred it that way. She lived in a modest apartment above a secondhand bookstore, surrounded by dust-covered classics, herbal teas lined neatly on her kitchen shelf, and rain-tapped windows that echoed a quiet kind of poetry. Every morning, Nora walked the same path to work. She stopped at the same little cafe on 5th Street. She ordered the same drink, chamomile tea with 1 spoon of honey, and she always gave the barista a soft smile, never quite reaching her eyes. She worked as an archivist at the city library, careful, methodical, invisible almost. Her colleagues respected her diligence, but none of them really knew her. Nora had a past, a place her mind wandered to often, like a hidden drawer she never truly closed. In college, she met Daniel Hart. He was the opposite of Nora, loud in a charming way, confident, brilliant in a reckless, magnetic sort of way. He noticed her, not just her face, but her silence, her stillness, her mind. When Daniel looked at Nora, he saw her. They became inseparable, shared playlists, wrote short stories together. They had a bench under a giant oak tree on campus, their sanctuary. They talked about books, the meaning of life, and dreams that felt too big to say out loud. Everyone around them thought they were a couple. But the truth was more complicated. Nora never confessed her feelings. She was scared that naming it would break the fragile, perfect thing they had. And Daniel? He was oblivious in the way only the young can be. Confident she'd always be there, never once thinking she might be more than his best friend. After college, Daniel got a high-paying writing job in Chicago. Nora stayed behind. Her father had been diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's. She became his full-time caregiver. Daniel promised to call, to visit. But time has a cruel way of slipping away. Distance builds silence. A year later, she found out through a photo on social media. Daniel was married. A wedding photo. He was laughing, radiant, holding a woman she didn't know. It shattered her. That night, she opened her laptop and wrote a letter. She poured out everything, her love, her pain, her regrets. But she never hit send. Instead, she created a folder on her desktop. She named it, Almost. And every year, every birthday, every moment she couldn't speak aloud, she wrote 10 letters, each one a quiet scream into the void, her love trapped in silence. Her father passed away 5 years later. She buried him in the cemetery behind St. Augustine's Church. No siblings, no mother. Nora stood alone at the grave. And then, she returned to her quiet life. The loneliness settled like dust. Heavy, soft, unmoving. She never stopped writing. Then, one Wednesday morning, she didn't show up to work. Her neighbor noticed the light in her kitchen still on by noon. The police found her in bed. Peaceful, serene, a smile, faint, almost like she had just remembered something beautiful. Her heart had simply stopped. Sarah, her only cousin, came to handle the arrangements. She hadn't seen Nora in years. As she sorted through her things, she found the laptop. She opened it. The folder almost stared back at her. She clicked it open. 10 letters. Sarah read them all. Each word laced with ache, with longing, with a love that was never spoken aloud. She cried, sobbed actually, because in those pages, she saw a woman who had loved, deeply, silently, and never received the chance to be loved back. Sarah remembered Daniel. She'd met him once at a college party. She recognized the name instantly. She opened Nora's email. She copied the last letter and she typed, "This is Sarah, Nora's cousin. I felt you needed to read this. Nora is gone." She hit send. Sarah, her only cousin, came to handle the arrangements. She hadn't seen Nora in years. As she sorted through her things, she found the laptop. She opened it. The folder almost stared back at her. She clicked it open. 10 letters. Sarah read them all. Each word laced with ache, with longing, with a love that was never spoken aloud. She cried, sobbed actually. Because in those pages she saw a woman who had loved deeply, silently, and never received the chance to be loved back. Miles away, Daniel Hart, now divorced, living in a quiet suburb, opened his inbox. He hesitated. He almost deleted the message, but something made him click. He read, "Hi Daniel. I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I wanted to say thank you for being the one who made me feel seen when I was invisible. I used to wonder if we ever had a chance, but then I realized I was just lucky to have known you at all. If love could be silent and constant, then that's what you were to me. I loved you, quietly, every day. And if this never reaches you, that's okay. Some things are beautiful just because they exist." Daniel froze. The air left the room. He sank into his chair. He called Sarah. She told him everything. The funeral was the next day. Daniel drove through the night. Rain fell softly as they lowered Nora's coffin into the ground. The sky hung low and gray. Daniel stood at the edge of the grave, holding printed letters. Her words. When everyone else left, he stayed. He read them, one by one, out loud, his voice breaking, his hands trembling. "You once told me silence was comfortable with me. I wanted to tell you then that I filled it with your name, again and again, until it felt like prayer." He placed the letters gently beside her headstone, along with a single white rose, and he whispered, "I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner." Nora's story is a haunting reminder that unspoken feelings don't disappear. They linger, echo, and sometimes become the heaviest burdens we carry. She loved Daniel deeply, purely and quietly, but silence, while safe, stole her chance at truth. Her heart was full, yet her voice stayed empty, out of fear, timing, or pride. Daniel, too, felt the weight of his own silence. He didn't ask the right questions. He didn't listen between the lines. And when he finally heard her truth, it was too late. The lesson? Speak your heart. While there's still time, even if it's awkward, even if you're scared, even if you don't know what the other person will say, because the pain of rejection fades. But the pain of what if? That never truly goes away. Nora Bennett loved in silence. Daniel Hart remembered too late. And somewhere between the words never said and the ones sent too late, a story was written in heartbreak and longing. We all think we have time. Time to explain, to call, to tell someone they mattered. But sometimes silence wins. And what could have been fades into what never was. So if you're listening to this right now, don't wait. Don't assume they know. Tell them before the moment passes you by. Because unspoken love isn't romantic. It's tragic. This was a story about silence, memory, and a quiet love that never had its chance. If it moved you, share it. Someone out there needs this reminder. And if there's someone you've been meaning to talk to, do it tonight. This is one of many stories that remind us life is fragile, love is real, and silence is never neutral. Don't forget to subscribe for more deeply human stories. And as always, speak your heart before it's too late. Good night, and thank you for listening.